afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of Sight, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to exciting 1 vs 1 on Langara Sky. Between the south, we got Kris fighting for the Oberkommando West for the 1st SS Panzer Pionier Abteilung, with Scavenge Doctrine, Breakthrough Doctrine, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces, versus in the north, Talisman fighting for the Soviet Union, for the glory of Comrade Stalin and the Soviet peoples. We have the shot rifle, military and gout rifle combined arms following up the 10th Guards Rifle Division, with bullets in for snub infantry, machine guns versus, machine guns and infantry for Kris, who's going here for Kugelwagens and Sturmpaniers right off the bat, grabbing territory with the Sturmpaniers. Kugelwagen moving straight for the fuel point there, thusly ensuring that Kris there can rapidly grab that. With more Sturmpaniers, of course, the Kugelwagen will offset the fact he won't be able to quite as much grab territory with it, but at the same time that means he's got a lot of firepower. Of course, on the other hand, he won't have any sort of measures of immediately getting any Panzerschrecks, depending, of course, how many Sturmpaniers he gets. Of course, you can always get to the kid in there first. Meanwhile, engineers being up there, 3rd Conscript on the way there for Talisman. But nice to see someone who doesn't just begin throwing out full Scandinavia after full Scandinavia in the first few minutes of the match. Engineers here laying down barbed wire, setting up for the future fight. We got the Kuban moving up. The Sturmpaniers will be also moving in there to support. No, they're also busy setting down barbed wire themselves. Sturmpaniers moving up there. Kuban being slightly pushed back by the engineers. Sturmpaniers taking their very good time. But there we go, now the engineers are definitely outgunned, Kugelwagen and the Sturmpaniers, and there we go. We see here that Talisman is forced to pull back his engineers. Kugelwagen can quickly be repaired. It's going to be a bit more difficult removing that large piece of wood from the rear of the Kugelwagen. How the hell did you get such stuck in there? Yeah. I don't know, actually. I don't think we can fix that. He's just going to have to shake it off. Meanwhile, another engagement, they're constantly quickly pushed back here, but the Sturmpaniers realise they're caught on the open. The Sturmpaniers would pretty much have won that if they didn't pull back, so very nice and sharp reaction there from Talisman. Saved his conscripts there from suffering needless losses here at the range. Even if they're in light cover versus Sturmpaniers heavy cover, they should at least stand a better chance, since the assault rifles don't quite have the same punch there as bolt action rifles at that range. Conscript there engaged by another Sturmpanier squad. We actually got a 3rd one on the way here. Now that is actually very rare, I think, for Oberkommando players. I mean, most again just go for a lot of full Scandinavians, maybe throw in a single Kugelwagen, but right here, 3 Sturmpaniers, 1 Kugelwagen, 0 full Scandinavians. Now that is very rare. Meanwhile, though, Talisman fighting here and there, going for the core point. Kris trying to deny Talisman access to his fuel point, forcing the Continent to double back, allowing the Sturmpaniers then to more easily advance further forward. So by quickly going for a pressure point, he's forcing Talisman to basically sort of contract there. Very well done there by Kris. And there go double Sturmpaniers, technical loss there, but over versus conscripts there, they are quickly going to have to pull back, so they put too many Sturmpaniers, too many assault rifles. There we go, heavy losses for the infantry. Quickly forced to fall back there as bullet after bullet flies in their general direction. Point there secured.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Overall, we're seeing here that Kris is rapidly gaining a lot of territory. Talisman is being on the back foot for the time being. Going for the maxims, though, should help quite a bit. Those the Sturmpaniers select anyway, so, you know, quickly dealing with it. So if he uses them properly, he was able to finish and them running back, then that could allow him to use them more. And again, due to the smaller number, I mean, just sending one Sturmpaniers back could have an effect there for Talisman. We'll of course have to see how it plays out. And meanwhile, we've got a truck out there for Kris. Quickly here, mechanised regiment, in which case, of course, we try and go for a quick look to then further make things ugly and awkward for Talisman, which certainly forces them to either have to go perhaps guard motor or guard rifle to perhaps get some guardsmen to at least have a chance there. We've got mines still going down there though. Good work. Sturmpaniers waiting for anything to happen there. Kugelwagen growing territory there, and the Sturmpaniers easily securing the eastern part of the map as well. And there we go, it is a mechanised regiment going up there for Kris to provide him with Luxus, Pumas, and who knows what else he might desire. Meanwhile, Kugelwagen being caught by the Maxim. And the engineers, bullets, going off against the front line. Then we got the Sturmpaniers moving in from the south. Of course, got the Maxim ready to halt them, and there you go. Kris realised what was going on. Tries to get Sturmpaniers out there before they get suppressed in the middle of the road, which would rather have severe consequences for the Sturmpaniers. And meanwhile, in the east, wiring off cover there, prepared for Talisman, and also laying down a mine here, making it very difficult for them to move around and actually grab the fuel point back. Very well done there by Kris. making us rating almost down in the current rate of fuel. He can actually get a Lux in about a minute. Meanwhile, Talisman's getting another Maxim. He's clearly not expecting so far a sort of quick Lux rush from Kris at all. Storm Pioneer still dealing with the conscripts. Maxim Engineers moving out the west slowly, and we've got a small engagement here. Conscripts versus Storm Pioneers. The conscripts quickly pull back, trying to sort of maintain range there. There's the Storm Pioneers. Second Maxim arrives for Talisman, adding more firepower, and there we go. Kris gets the Lux. And meanwhile, though, Kris is also getting arcade effort. Worried about enemy armor and vehicles, actually, at this stage, despite having control of the fuel points quite nicely. But with 3 Storm Pioneers and Lux, it's not like it's going to hurt him too much to sort of actually be safe there, so that's not a bad idea as such. Meanwhile, Krugbag and Storm Pioneers here forced back by the Maxim and the Engineers. Shooting up through the centre. 2 conscripts in, there you go. 1 mine went off, killing some of the conscripts, the others quickly being rushed back. Too many Storm Pioneers around them, causing a lot of havoc, a lot of damage. Fighting here in the west, Krugbag taking down from Maxim. Mines going down around the edge of the fuel point, and there we go. We got the Lux arriving at the same time as the Raketenwerfer, but actually slightly behind like Kevin, forcing it so they have to slow down there, making it a bit harder to get out on the field. There you go, striking straight for the conscripts, and again Talisman at the moment has got basically nothing to hold. He's got no anti-tank grenades, he's got no guards, riflemen, no field guns, no T-70s, no S-76s. He's got some mines, and that's about it. And even that's going to be a bit cheesy to get off there, considering how he's placed them so far. But there you go, field gun is the response here. Anti-tank grenades has also arrived here for Talisman now, so he's really sort of just going for it as much as he can. It looks like the Engineers might actually survive this against all odds. Further fighting here for the eastern fuel point. Maxim moving up, Storm Pioneers moving from the flank. With a little support here for the Maxim, that should be run off. Krugbag here, of course, also presents a threat. Minor loss down there, go trying to set up. He really wants to hold this, but simply put, there's too much firepower in the hands of the Germans, and the Maxim is quickly overwhelmed, sending it scurrying back to base. Looks moving over towards the eastern side here, back to base. Troops reinforcing, preparing. And you got a truck there more out for Kris. Neither side is yet to go for Doctrine, by the way.
Ready for orders. We're ready to move.
So there we go, Sis-3 field gun arrives. Maxim constant Engineers moving westwards. Looks like preparing 2 punches and hoping the Russians will strike perhaps towards the eastern one. Allowing his field gun to deal with that. Looks seemingly wrecking some things there. Not sure what, and there you go, conscripts caught. Field gun is close but not quite there. There's yet to be a doctrine there for Talisman chosen. Again, I'm rather suspect it's going to be either motor Gart rifle. The Guardsman again would help quite a bit there as the Lux, of course, run on with machine guns. They could also do quite a bit of good versus the Storm Pioneers. Stormers are caught laying down mines. Have already swept the certain mines already. Oh dear, looks like he's not paying attention. This actually turns out to be good advantage there for Talisman, since the Storm Pioneers running without taking a single bit of damage. And there we go. Doctrine response. Kris goes for scavenge. Jaegers are now available. Very common choice there amongst Oberkommando's players. Moving over here in this case to support the eastern engagement. Catching them here, Russians from behind with the Jaegers inside the building, forcing them to capture out and sort of pull back, to otherwise suffer rather heavy losses to the marksmen attached to the Jaeger unit. Nice work there, and well executed by Kris. Looks engaging the marksman in the centre. Field gun up support, constantly rushing ahead of hill as well to attempt to knock out the Lux, at least damage and knock it out there with the field gun. But so far, Kris is avoiding such a fate, just rolling about there with his Lux, doing as much damage as he can with its auto cannon. No take-ups will get there for Talisman. He could perhaps consider that. He's certainly close to getting the fuel for it.
We are losing territory.
Constant taking a few hits. In the east, more mines, more territory being grabbed. Very well played there by Talisman. Actually managed to gain at least 1 fuel point away from Kris, and he's now actually sort of fortifying it versus enemy armour. He might have given up on the east, but so far that's not going to be too huge a thing there, as long as you got 1 fuel point. Tripwire flare mines. I've seen some players do those. They're basically doing is they're just laying it down from the entrance of a building, because in a trip by a flare mine they can wipe an entire German unit as it infiltrates. It's a very, very nasty little trick. In this case, it's actually very close having it work there, but the Jaegers were a bit too fast there. But yes, that is a sneaky little trick there. Some sort of players like to do. You have to be wary about it. They can pretty much wipe an entire unit as you pop it out there. Fallschirmjäger, stormtroopers, Jaegers, you name it. Very nasty little trick. No doubt about it.
Ready for orders.
Sturmpani sitting here trying to get that field gun. The biggest threat right now there is to the Luftsaufklärungspanzer. And there we go, wiping out the crew of a slowly knock on engagement here. Crew in a bit of trouble. Jaeger supporting, mine going off round here, killing a few conscripts, still keeping up the pressure towards the fuel points. Talisman is constantly sort of shifting his main attack, his axis of attack, never allowing himself just turning into a meat grinder of a fight at one point there, and that's actually some very good play there. I mean, Langrosgare has a tendency very much just becoming a meat grinder right here around this point, but instead we're seeing Talisman swing for the west, swing for the east. Not pushing too much in the centre, instead going for the resource points, that way you're trying to deny them to the enemy and do damage that way to Kris. So that's quite well played, and there we go, we got an extra 6 on the way there to help deal with the looks, but also perhaps any other vehicle and armour that Kris could be getting. I mean, Kris has been getting a lot of fuel. Right here, though, he went for a battle group headquarters. You know, with all the Sturmpanies, he could easily done just, you know, some medical kits. In particular, he's got plenty of munitions for it. Instead, try to use the fuel for, say, schwer panzer quarters. I think that might be a missed opportunity right there for Kris. Meanwhile, the Lux doing damage as much as he can. Closing in, actually 2 Lux flanking in from another side. Catching the field gun crew and wiping out once more. Crunch with a lot of trouble. Max doing what he can. Echelon 6 still almost done there for Talisman and the 10th Guards Rifle Division. There we go. Kugelwagen finally goes down in a ball of flame. But the Echelon 6 is almost done. There we go. Lux just keeps killing, taking damage, but it is killing. And there we go. We got a 3rd Jaeger squad there arriving for Kris. So he's actually called up quite a few Jaegers there to support his Sturm Pioneers. No attempt perhaps, for example, going for some, I don't know, quicker schwer panzer quarters than some orbs done. I mean, I had plenty of munitions for that too. Instead he's going there for the Jaegers, and there goes from 6 for the Lux. Lux almost knocked down here, sliver of health left. Veteran D2, he could try and pull around here, then go for cautious movement. Hope his opponent doesn't see it, but there you go. Oh, close, close, close. He doesn't go for it, The Asian 6 goes around the corner, the Kedmare for turning him out there, trying to support. But he might not be enough, And there you go, Lux is down, Asian 6 lit it on fire, a shot right through the ammunition, cooked it up, burning the crew horribly. No survivors. And the Asian 6 escapes, and with those few hits, it's almost Veteran 2-1 already. Jaegers are pressed here with Maxim up close. You got Sturmpaniers rushing forward here through the western road. Moving ahead, trying to hunt down and perhaps flank that Maxim crew. Los! And there we go, bombardment wiped out a unit there. Jaegers utterly annihilated. And that was a single hit there from the SU-76. Good lord. Talk about value for money. That was a 300 manpower unit just dropped out with a single hit there. That SU-6 has already paid itself off. And there we go. We got a response here from Kris. He actually goes for a Puma here. Schwer Panzer Spielwagen. So try and deal with this threat. The Panzer Pionier Abteilung getting some support there from the Aufklärungstruppen, it would seem. No other units nearby to sort of immediately provide support, it would seem. H-6 rolling ahead. Will Talisman try to get another H-6 at T-70? Will he try to take up? Meanwhile, further down, mines down there for Kris. He's got plenty of munitions, though. You could easily afford a lot more mines, to be honest. With 3 Sturmpanies, he can lay down a lot of mines. Make no mistake about that. Moving up here, plenty of mines going down there for Kris. Good work, Maxim holding up the German advance there. Sturmpanies and Jaegers forced to cover there behind stacks of hay. There you go, Sturmpanies going on the offensive in the west. Push back the engineers. Max on the radius part covering fire there. Veteran too quick to suppress. And another engineer there on the way, by the way, for Talisman. So he's getting additional engineers. Possibly with minesweepers, perhaps more flamethrowers, so that would deal with the enemy. Sturmpanies halted here by the Max inside the building. Nicely done there, nicely done. Mines being finished. And he is getting minesweepers, good work there, good work there. Talisman is finally reacting to all the mines here that Kris has laid down. Good work. And he's actually getting another looks there. Bit of a surprise there, He's not trying to, again, try and take up quickly for the schwer panzered quarters. Instead, he's actually going for another looks there. He must be feeling pretty confident he can finish this off quickly before Talisman manages to escalate the fight further with medium tanks or something else. If he can sort of just go for rely on Luxus and Pumas for this. We're going to have to, of course, see if he can actually pull it off. It's going to be a bit risky, but I mean, he is displaying something a lot of players never consider again, which is, more aggression in the light vehicle phase. I mean, a lot of players still just tend to get one and never consider pushing for more. So right here, we're certainly seeing Kris there, certainly going for something a bit rarer from the Oberkommando of S. So, I mean, it is certainly noteworthy. 3 Sturm Pioneers, 2 Luxus, a Puma. I mean, this is rather rare Oberkommando of S play. I mean, most of this plays, but, I already have several Flottillas with Panzerstrecks, and we're probably trying to play either for a Panther 4 or a King Tiger. Fortunately, in the front door has been mined, a little surprise gift from the Wehrmacht. Grenades there going through the windows, getting a few kills there. Maxim getting out, Sturmpires moving in there, flanking. Veteran G2, and there we go, quickly out the Maxim, No, gets past the corner. Asian 6 moving up, Lux is striking, moving up through the east. Puma is waiting to support an ambush, perhaps the Asian 6. Perhaps he's even using the Lux there as a bait for the Asian 6, in which case that is very interesting. There we go, damage engine, there we go. Puma moves up, Asian 6 comes under fire. Meanwhile, further fighting is Sturmpires versus conscripts. Luxing when it can, and Puma also trying, there we go, shoots, gets a hit then the Asian 6. Puma needs to be careful, they're trying to slug it out there with the Asian 6, but there we go, sends the Asian 6 running. If he's actually setting up for the howitzer barrage, that would be interesting. Meanwhile, battle base forces reinforcing, more engineers on the way there for Talisman, having lost the flamethrower unit to the rapid fire of the Sturmpioniere. Diese caught. The minesweepers nothing against the Sturmgewehr 44. Reinforcing back at base. Conscripts advancing, hanging back. Still relying only on field gun so far. But then again with the 6, perhaps nothing more is needed so far, considering he's playing against light vehicles. Kris, I think, should consider again taking up at this point. There he goes, getting a truck. Schwerer Wehrmacht Schlepper. Truck designed for sort of the more muddy roads of the Eastern Front, or the lack of roads entirely. But there was a lot of mud on the Eastern Front, and many trucks were in fact lost to it. Thousands, actually, for example, doing Operation Barbarossa, where they had to rely on a myriad of trucks, Austrian, Czechoslovakian, French, British, Russian trucks they captured, and German ones as well. Logistical nightmare and so on, but also just the mud made it hell. Axum constantly hanging about, looks running away. Sturmpine is being suppressed there. Puma hanging about, still waiting for the Asian 6 to reveal itself before firing off some shots, but the Puma is damaged. The Asian 6 has been repaired, and there we go. Good hit for the field gun. The looks going to force Kris there to pull back, also timing up mid-game analysis, actually. My apologies. County chasing Talisman's actually hitting damage, but kills wise, Kris is quite far ahead. He's made really good use of the Sturm Pioneers, the Luxus, and the Jaegers to really bleed out Talisman that way. But as we can see here, Talisman's, despite all of the heavy damage that Kris is doing to him, is actually holding on and actually doing some good damage return to Kris, so it's not all bad there. Army value wise, Kris is ahead though. He is quite far ahead there. Again, the Sturm Pioneers, all of that is, being made good use of to sort of gain an advantage. He's not trying to sort of build up resources on later, gain advantage. He's going for it now, getting vehicles and such. Army, or points held wise, it's a lot more sort of close between the two though. So in some sense, there's a bit of an interesting fight there. Again, Kris is doing a lot of damage, but he's not getting a lot of sort of control for it. Talisman's doing a lot of damage to a certain extent, but not a lot of kills, and he's still, holding the map nicely there, which certainly indicates that he's quite good at sort of controlling around the map through that. So I mean, that's overall quite nice there. Displays here the Talisman is quite good at maneuvering, shifting about, then also just not getting bogged down in senseless fighting. He doesn't try to just meat grind down there. Kris, he's constantly looking for spots to strike through, find new opportunities. And so just go for where it's easy and then blitz through there. So, I mean, overall, thumbs up there to Talisman for that kind of gameplay. And, of course, Kris is sort of responding a bit to the same here. But at the same time, it feels a bit like he's more responding to Talisman at the moment. Again, the way he's using the Puma sort of try and catch the S-6. They're using the looks a bit as bait. They dust, indicate he's a bit, on the reactive side there. But at the same time, though, he's still making progress here and there. So, overall interesting. As for what Kris could consider, I think this rear panzer cord is absolutely necessary by now. Get it up and at least get some orbitals up with light machine guns. That way, add some more anti-infantry pressure, and then go for a Panzer IV. If things are absolutely desperate, Jagd Panzer. If things are looking decent, go for a Panther. Perhaps if there's a lot of armor. Otherwise, Panzer IV. I think is sort of the optimal move there for Kris. And otherwise, more mines, more pressure. Sort of more taxing and try and find the weak spot, try to strike through there, don't try to just break through where Talisman is strongest. For Talisman overall, there's not so much else to comment on. I think he should try and take up, go for armor himself, because right now Kris would be very vulnerable to take up, and again that's why he needs to take up. Failing that, of course, for Kris, by the way, he could try and go for a second Puma if things go completely sour. But for Talisman, I think taking up is a good move. He also needs to use his doctrine. So far, he's not upgraded his men with submachine guns to help versus the German infantry. No guards rifle infantry like machine guns. There's been no hit the dirt. There's been nothing really. If you're going for a doctrine, utilize it. Otherwise, you might as well just go for guards, at least gotten some T-3045s out of it. But otherwise, take up and fairly just keep up the tactics so far. He's reasonably well executing there versus Kris. Otherwise, there's not so much else to say there about Talisman, so let's return to the fight and see what happens next. Another hit there in the looks. Why isn't he pulling it back? Come on, Kris. Too late. Looks is kaput.
Light vehicle destroyed.
Right there, Kris's unit preservation was a bit off. His danger sense wasn't quite well calculated. And there he goes. Now going for a Stuka zu Fuss. I'm not entirely sure that's a good idea, to be honest. I'm not sure that's a good idea. Mine's going down. I mean, it's not like Talisman is sort of really dug in to acquire an Stuka zu Fuss there, so I think it's a bit of a poor move there for Kris and further delays, actual taking up, going for armor, orbital down, which I think would overall do him a lot better. And if that, opponent dug in, he has the howitzer barracks instead, which he's got a lot of fuel or munitions for. So I feel like it's a waste of fuel and manpower right now to go for the Stuka zu Fuss when he probably should be taking up and trying to go for some heavier elements to deal with Talisman. Or he could have gone for at least for another Puma, that would at least give him some more maneuver elements. So we'll try and respond here to the Russians' mobile elements a bit better. But meanwhile, we are seeing Talisman there taking up. He is going for the mechanized armor company. And there you go, we do get the Stuka zu Fuss, which was actually primarily attached to Panzerpionier Abteilung. In fact, it was part of their heavy weapons company, which meant machine guns and the likes, but also a bit of artillery. In that case, the Panzer Pioneers actually had the Stuka zu Fuss as their artillery. Fun fact. Moving ahead, the Stuka zu Fuss, and we got artillery going in as well. What? What are you doing? What are you doing with the Stuka zu Fuss? Nine. Oh, it was a rally point. He hadn't quite fought through. Very good tip. Always be mindful of your rally points. I mean, yes, for some units it's great, you need to quick get out there, but you have to pay attention. Otherwise, you get the situation where Russia hit the Stuka zu Fuss there and get it blown apart. Meanwhile, they've been able to pull off some good attacks elsewhere. Moving ahead, pushing out the Mac and going for the cop one again, but still, that was a harsh blow to Kris there. That was a harsh blow. Pay attention to your rally points. It's always shifted a bit further back there, but again, seriously, be careful. S-6 eventually too, continue to downset to the fascist. But there you go, flanking up with the Puma. At the same time, Soviet airstrike there wipes out the Sturm Pioneer squad. Good strike there by the Soviet Air Force. Puma trying to get it, almost. We got constantly up there into tank grenades. Field gun's not ready. And S-6 out of control. Another artillery strike down, trying to get the field gun. Need to pop smoke. This is going to be close. And he's calling up an Ostman now. Oh, that's a bad idea because right now Talisman's getting a T-34-76 out. I fear Kris might have misread the situation rather gravely, or perhaps he's just still shocked after the loss of the Stuka zu Fuss in such a rather silly and awkward manner by the way he should scavenge it for a bit of extra munitions and fuel. But the Osprey right now is not going to help him. In fact, now he just went for 200 fuel there for units he probably shouldn't have gone for, when he should be going for this and then some armour out. So now he's even further away from actually being able to get a Panzer IV. So right now, Kris is perhaps in a very, very sore position. I mean, he's clearly doing some damage, but he's lost his steel pilot squad. He's lost his Fuss. Whereas Talisman hasn't quite lost as much. And he's getting a tank out now, so he's going to have an advantage there. And the only response really we have there from Kris is a Puma, and I can't finish the Ostwind. Sturmpanzers Jägers moving up through the centre. But the centre is now much more heavily dominantly controlled there by Talisman. Eastern flank being secured. T-34 moving ahead. Ostwind there. Puma nowhere near support. Need to pull back the Osprey there before the T-34 knocks it out and leaves it burning, and Talisman is already getting a second T-34, rapidly building up his armoured forces. Moving up, concepts hanging about. And an artillery strike being called down right on the Maxim. Puma shoots, gets a decent hit there. He's really calling a lot of artillery now. Too bad none of it really seems to be hitting a mark. Don't do it with the... Don't push the Puma, Kris! Don't push the Puma! Another hit there. Puma's going to have to fall back almost 22. Sturmpanzer hitting with the engineers from the eastern side of the map. Western side seems to have forgotten this fast. Wehrmacht Schleppers just doing nothing. Wondering why it was called forwards to the front when there's clearly nothing for it to do. Second T-34 there running for Talisman and guards 10th Rifle, and he's actually calling it another Jaeger unit here. When he probably should have be going for more Raketenwerfers. Now he's trying to get his vehicle repaired. The Puma in particular I think is mostly more in need. Actually a rate of fire there further would help those of the T-34s. Considering the current situation, he might actually have to get a second Puma, since at least that way he has some ways, doing a lot of damage to the T-34s and certainly ignoring a bit the Puma's lack of penetration versus them. Otherwise his options are a bit limited, I think. Jaegers push back, conscripts maximum about, mine going off there, it seems. Was it there? Who knows? Something somewhere exploded. That is all we know.
Standing by.
Air troops rushing forward. We've got the Jaegers pushing into the centre and pushing away from the centre. Going towards the west instead. We got some Sturmpanzer supporting them as well. Quite a sort of force. And there we go. Finally, we got something more from the doctrine. We got some guards riflemen, no machine guns. And we got the Maxneck being assaulted by the Ostwind. We got the T-34 moving in. Puma is there we go, but the Raketenwerfer is nowhere to be seen. He's not quite moving up, and they're going to need to be careful. T-34 moving in from so points, quips around the Puma, knocking out that way. In which case, well done there by Talisman. There you go, shot fired, bounced. Puma needs to fall back. Penetrating hit, Vengeance 2. Pop smoke. Scheiße. T-34 misses, the Raketenwerfer sets up, shoots. You got aim shot there, but makes him stand still. There we go, knocked out. Bad news there for Kris. He just at least had one more Raketenwerfer. He might have done better. There you go, T-34 to mine. Both T-34s in a terrible state. Osman was almost knocked out. He's actually going to try and hunt them down. I think he is. At least just what Raketenwerfer to do with other T-34. There we go, rushing forwards. Troops reinforcing, need to get them moving as well.
Combat unit ready.
Another Ostwind. Kris, I think at this point is desperate. He realises he'd probably made some big mistake. There's now sort of trying to just make up for it with sheer raw anti-infantry force, and perhaps the Ostwind just knocking out the tanks. Whilst he's changing the new base, they're gaining veterans. One damaged engine there. A lot of engine damage. Guardsmen and troops here suppressed. Ostwind charges straight through. Almost got the T-34. Very exposed. Raketenwerfer moving out. Almost got it. Engineers hanging about. Country, I think a bit close. Get off an anti-tank grenade. Bit of shooting there to the rear of the T-34 main gun, destroying. There we go. Ostwind down, didn't get the T-34. But the other T-34 is knocked up. At the same time, Talisman is just getting another one. I mean, for Kris, it's a lot harder to replace the Ostwinds, which are actually more expensive. Not a lot, though, but still more expensive than the T-34s. Yeah, you know, they can't really compete with it directly. I mean, they can do more infantry damage, but there's some and they just can't quite, you know, do the same. In that sense, you know, Talisman's basically got the advantage now. And you have to be careful with getting Ostwinds, in particular, if you can't get your own armour. And right here, Kris is basically, I mean, you know, he went all in and sadly couldn't quite get it to work. And even then, you know, it's going to be pretty tricky to get it work as a certain player who can get tanks cheaper than your Ostwinds. And which can knock them out easily. Got some severe convulsions there. More Jaegers. Again, Kris is just throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. But in this case, what happened? They got wiped by a tripwire flare mine. Again, nasty little trick there. Very nasty little trick. Basically wipes the entire unit for like, what is it, 10 munitions? Yeah. Bit absurd, really. But it does exist. It does exist, that trick.
Standing by. Send order.
So for those of you perhaps dealing with this as Soviet players, you know, if you want something to deal with it, I suppose, that's an option. Though you probably won't be gaining your opponent's respect or friendship. But if you're really annoyed with it, well, you got an option now. Well, now you could just lay down a regular mine, but you know, tripwire flare mines, cheaper.
We are ready. Send orders.
T-34 sitting him up, troops reinforcing overall. Talisman got the upper hand versus Kris now. Kris, who's so well started out there, I think rather fumbled a bit in certain elements. I think the Stukas of Fus was essentially the mistake there. I mean, he could easily go on again for 2 Luxus of Puma, no problem. He was running for the Stukas of Fus. I mean, even if he hadn't thrown away there by accident, but you know, not quite thinking about the rally point, which is certainly unfortunate. I don't think it had much of an impact on the fight, to be honest. He should have taken up at that point. Tried to go in for some medium armor, at least some orbital garden, but he didn't. And the problem with scavenging is it's not a doctrine can run the call-ins for, it's more the call-ins supplement your regular force. Problem is, Kris and I's force rely on it. And generally that rarely ends well. T-34 Guardsmen getting here, and on the western side we got T-34 supported by Maxims, dealing with the German units here. They're taking a few hits up on the Keddenwerfer. Oh, house went down there from a very nice shot there from the T-34. Talisman can easily get another T-34 he wants. Kris losing ground all across. We got a grenade assault there against the Maxim, an attempt to clear it out. Gaining veterans free, not bad, not bad. Another Keddenwerfer hit there, got veteran 2, we got constant flank in, Maxim moving in. And we could see Osman moving in there, but otherwise the T-34 got Osman in. Everything converging, and I'm surprised here that Kris has only gotten a single Keddenwerfer. Never more than one. He must have been feeling pretty confident. About to lose his Ostwind. Jaeger's about to get wiped. Maxim annihilated. And now things are just falling apart. We got another Soviet airstrike inbound there for Talisman. Catching all the infantry out in the open. Truck taking a hit, and there you go. Ostwind about to go down. About to go down. Keddenwerfer on the T-34. And there you go. Ostwind down. Another T-34. And at this point, it's pretty much GG for Kris. It's finally getting like Keddenwerfer. And there you go. Kris surrenders. Game over. A victory there for Talisman. Despite a very strong and good opening there, I think, from Kris. Talisman, though, well outplayed. I mean, managed to keep up with it by just, you know, trying to avoid it shifting here and there, ensuring that Kris couldn't quite just get the dominant sort of footing. But more importantly, again, Kris just, I think, fumbled the sort of early to mid sort of shift there. He went for the Stukas first when there really wasn't much reason to go for it. I think his opponent wasn't that dug in. And he had artillery there, which he then mismanaged anyway, so, you know, I don't think he got much more of the Stukas of Fus. He should have been taken up at that point, but he didn't. I even think to a certain extent the Battle Group headquarters might have been a mistake. He should have gone for a very quick 3-hour punch at quarters, or at least, you know, gone for the Puma Lux, and then 3-hour punch at quarters without the Battle Group headquarters and then, trying to go on there. I think that worked overall better with the kind of sort of aggressive strategy he was playing, but ultimately he just completely shifted tempo in terms of attacking, and that sort of didn't quite work with the rest of the elements, basically sort of betraying his strategy and overall sort of causing him to sort of slowly but surely fall apart under Talisman, who's got a much clearer idea of things. Talisman, though, could have made better use of his doctrine, but will make good use of the Guardsmen and the airstrike, so that's not too bad at all. Kris, I think, perhaps could even consider going for another doctrine. I mean, overall, he just sort of managed to sort of shoehorn himself into sort of corner where he couldn't quite get out at all. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope it has been educational. It has improved your game somehow. If it has, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Lynching. Cheers. Thanks for watching and hope to see you all another time. Bye.